Now we're gonna get to my favorite thing. So NFT mortgages. All right. So NFTFi.com has changed my life. This is how I was able to borrow against the virtual land that I own. So if you're a borrower, what you can do is you can list an asset, any NFT really, but like this would be with, virtual land. You can set the terms that you want. So like how much you want to borrow in ETH or in USDC or in DAI, and for how long and at what APR you're willing to pay. You use MetaMask to interact with the platform. You see the offers. And then at the end of the loan period, you get you have to pay it back, right? You pay the principal plus the interest. If you don't pay it back like say you do a loan for 30 days, if you don't pay it back, then you get defaulted. So you get to keep the funds, right? But they take the NFT. And then it's the reverse, right? So if you're a lender, you can look for assets. You can make an offer. Say you have 1,000 USDC or DAI. You can give that to someone else. They put their NFT in escrow, and then at the end of the loan, they pay it back. You're good. You get the interest plus the principal back. If they don't pay it back, then you take the NFT. So very similar to like a pawn shop, right? Or like a mortgage, right? Like with the banks and the houses. But I'm going to show some screenshots so you can get a visual representation of what this looks like, right? So first, you list the asset, you set the desired currency in the APR. So this is one of my parcels of land inside Sandbox. I have -120, -159. Those are the coordinates. They give you some useful information here that's pulled from NFT Bank. So they tell you how much the land is worth, right? That's the floor price that we were talking about earlier. And then when I list it, I can say, hey, I'm looking for a loan in DAI. I'm looking for $5,000 worth of this token of ETH or of DAI. I'm looking for it for 30 days, and I'd like to pay 20% APR or 10% APR or whatever. And then you can list it. Then you get the offers. So it might be a little small, but the offers come in. People say, I will lend you 0.7 ETH. I'll lend you 0.47 ETH. I'll lend you 1.2 ETH. I'll do it for 60 days. I'll do it for 120 days. I'll do it for 3 days. And then these are the different APRs. So you have to go through them and look at like which is the best deal, right? Obviously, like these are bad deals. Like 3 days they're gonna lend me 1 ETH, which 1.2 ETH, which is like $2,000 for 3 days, and I have to pay 108% annualized percentage rate. So I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, you look through them and you see which ones are good ones. Like if you do longer term, like 120 days for 0.47, it's not a lot of ETH. It's $1,000 you can borrow, but it's only 27% APR, and you never have to sell the NFT. So that's the key, right? For a lot of people, right? Like, well, NFTs are taxed depending on which jurisdiction you're in, which I think is most of them. They're taxed with capital gains. So if you have an NFT and it's going up in value and you sell it, now you pay the taxes. Instead, you can borrow against it, lock it in escrow, use the loan to pay for whatever it is that you need to do, and then pay back the loan with your next paycheck or your salary or whatever. This is a good like tax advantage strategy that people do. Also, with NFTs, people get a lot more attached than with, say, like Ethereum, right? Like if I have Ethereum, I'm much more willing to sell it. But if I have land or an NFT, I want to keep that one, right? Because even if I sell that one, I need the cash now. I can't buy it back. If I sell Ethereum for like a few days because I got to go make a purchase, I can buy back that ETH, no problem. But if I sell my NFT and then a few days later, I want to go buy that NFT again, I can't buy the same one. I'd have to buy a different one unless that seller is selling the same one. So I think this is even more valuable. The lending is more valuable for NFTs than it is for ETH or for regular cryptocurrencies. Once you accept an offer, the asset is in escrow, so you can't do anything with it. It's locked in a smart contract, and it tells you when the loan expires. So, you borrow 2 ETH or borrow 2 ETH, and then 90 days later, I have to pay back this amount, the 2.098 ETH, which is an APR of 20%. Now, on the other side, right, you're the lender, right? Who's the other person on the other end of this? This person is offering me their NFT. This is a Decentraland parcel inside of one of the blue districts. They want 6 ETH for 30 days, and they'll take whatever APR I want to offer them. I wouldn't do this one because 6 ETH is a lot when the NFT is only valued at 2 ETH. That's another thing you have to consider, right? Is like, what is the value of the collateral, right? And this is the same thing in traditional markets. Like, you want to make sure that you're only lending out less than the value of the collateral. Because if you lend out more than the value of the collateral, these are anonymous people, like you don't know who they are, they can run away with it. That's why most of DeFi is over collateralized as opposed to under collateralized, because you're relying on insurance through the collateral and not based off of credit scores. This is a good way for someone that, if you have extra ETH and you want to lend it out, you can do that, earn a good 20, 30%.